Hey guys, Jordan Bellinger. We are back for our next episode of our Lifetime Fitness series, and I want to talk about goals. So, a lot of you have probably heard the SMART acronym for setting goals, and it varies a little bit from one SMART acronym to another, but they're pretty similar. So the one that I remember is specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and timely. And so, which is great because as a business, you want your people to build goals, and then they bring their goals and their SMART goals to you, and then you kind of build your goals with your team, and you go up and up and up. So I think it's a little more accurate, a little more, you have a better estimation of what your team is going to do with these SMART goals, and you can hold them accountable and all that stuff. But I want to talk about the attainable part and how I think that's appropriate for that world, but not when it comes to like life goals. Like, what do you want to accomplish in your life? What do you want to accomplish in the next 10 years, the next year, whatever it is? Like big goals, family goals, giving back goals, business goals, income goals, whatever it is. A guy that, when I got into real estate, I went to this seminar or class or something, and I don't think it was a business planning clinic, but there was a guy that got up there and talked about goals, and he told a story about climbing Mount Everest. And he goes in, and I don't remember exactly how he went in it. His was much shorter, but let's say you go to climb Mount Everest. You spent some years training. You train your body, you train your strength, you train your cardio, you train your skills, and then you show up. And then you take 2 months off work. It takes about 2 months to go from flying in to flying out and getting to the top of the mountain. You schedule 2 months off. You schedule the next 2 weeks of getting to base camp. And let's say you make it no further than base camp. Base camp is that first point that everyone kind of goes to and gets acclimated and practices their climbing, so on and so forth. But let's say you make it no further than that. You just make it to base camp. And, and you set your goal to go all the way to the top of the mountain, the highest point in the world. You don't make it. But my opinion is, yes, did you fail with that goal? Yeah, possibly. But you also reached the higher than the tallest point in all the continental U.S. So you go to Everest, you make it about halfway, you get to base camp, that first point from sea level, and you are now higher and you climb taller than anyone that's climbed continental U.S. Pretty cool. So it changed my mind on how I set goals. So I have a lot of goals. I have family goals, I have my personal goals, I have my business goals, I have my giving back goals. I have a lot of goals for a lot of things. And I've found that since that moment, I've set some pretty crazy goals, and most of them I haven't gotten to. And would I like to get to the goal? Absolutely. But I find that I do a whole lot better with my goals, with my progress towards a goal, when I set these crazy goals that are way out there. And so, and I've talked to other people too, and they've said the same thing. And so, if your goal is to make, I don't know, whatever your goal is, double it, triple it, 10x it, like whatever it is, make it so crazy and fight towards that. And when you go look back, you're going to find that you've made better progress than you would have if you would have made these attainable goals. This year, if you're familiar with, I set a ridiculous goal this year for my real estate production. Like, it was bonkers. But I set it, and I don't think we're going to get to it. I really don't. However, if you're familiar with like year-over-year growth or same-store sales growth, because it's just me, you'll be familiar with this number. My business has grown massively. So January through about, I think, May, I did as much business as I did all of last year. And so think about that. So we closed and impacted more families in the first 5 months of the year than we did in 12 months last year. That's pretty cool. Now again, I'm not going to hit the goal that I have this year, and that's okay. But that's pretty good growth. And if I didn't set that ridiculous goal that I did, I probably wouldn't have accomplished that. And so I just want you guys to think a little bit more about how you set goals, and be okay with not getting to these outrageous goals, and be okay with setting goals that are so outrageous people laugh at you. I think that's okay, and I'll help push you. So anyways, just some things to think about that was kind of like it was just a complete, like, they say mind blown, right? A mind shift in the way I think when I got in real estate and went to this one thing, and how I set my goals to this day. My wife and I have a sheet of paper, personal goals, family goals, business goals, and it's all of our stuff on there. And some of these things are bonkers, and but it's cool to fight for it. So anyways, I'll see you guys next week, and hope you have an awesome week and weekend. Talk to you guys later. Bye.